All right, so for our next example, we're looking for the exact value of some double angles. So sine of 2u, cosine of 2u, tan of 2u. And we're given information about the regular angle, about cosine of u. Okay, so cosine of u equals negative 2 over 3. And what I have to do is go to my formulas, my double angle formulas, and use the information that I know. I know about cosine, and plug in and figure out what sine, cosine, and tangent of the double angle is. Only problem is I know about cosine, but I don't really know anything about sine, right? And same thing here. I know about cosine, but I don't know anything about tangent. So we need to make sure we can evaluate sine and cosine of u, right? In order to get all the double angles. So let's use the information we're given. We have, just going to draw over here. We have the fact that cosine is negative 2 over 3, right? And that would tell us our adjacent and our hypotenuse. But also we know that u, our angle, is between pi over 2 and pi. So that means we're in quadrant 2. So I'm going to draw my triangle in quadrant 2. Here's angle u. And cosine is supposed to be negative 2. So this is negative 2 over 3. So the hypotenuse is 3. We can do a little Pythagorean theorem. 3 squared minus negative 2 squared, which is 5, is a square of this one. So we'll put square root of 5. All right. So we have information. If I needed to find sine or tangent, I could do it now that I have the entire triangle drawn in here. Let's put x and y. All right. So we're tasked to find sine of 2u. And the formula says that sine of 2 times the angle is 2 sine the angle cosine of the angle. All right. So I have my triangle here. I know that sine of this angle is opposite over hypotenuse. So sine is root 5 over 3. And I was actually given cosine already. So cosine is negative 2 over 3. All right, just have to make sure our signs our positive and negative signs are correct. We're here on the left, so cosine is negative, sine is positive. So we're good. And then I can just evaluate. I have 2 times root 5 times negative 2. So negative 4 root 5 on the numerator. And then 3 times 3 gives me 9. So I have sine of the double angle. All right. Let's find cosine of the double angle. So cosine of 2u. Now we have options. It's kind of up to you because we have all the information we need, but we can use the first equation, or the first formula, which says use cosine and sine. We can use only the sine information, or we can use only the cosine or only the sine. Any of these formulas will give us the same value. Okay, I'm going to use this one here in the middle just because I was given cosine. If I made any mistakes with finding sine, those mistakes will carry over. So I'm just going to use what I was given and not add any extra pieces. So I'm going to use the middle formula. It's 2 cos squared u minus 1. All right. So I already know what cosine is. So I'm going to put 2 times negative 2 over 3 squared and then minus 1. So cosine is negative 2 over 3. It says to square it and then multiply by 2 and subtract 1. So order of operation, I have 2 times negative 2/3 squared is 4 over 9. Right? And then I have 2 times 4, which gives me 8 over 9 minus 1. 1 is the same thing as like 9 over 9. So this is technically negative 1/9. So I have cosine of 2u, sine of 2u, cosine of 2u. Now I have to find tangent of 2u. So you have options again. You can use the formula, right? I can figure out what tan is because I know the triangle. I have the triangle. I can figure out tan, plug it all in. Or technically tangent is sine over cosine. So you could just divide this guy by this guy and get your answer. But I'm going to use the formula just so we can make sure we know how to plug in the information. So let's find tangent of 2u. So the formula says 2 tan over 1 minus tan squared. All right. So if I look at my triangle, tangent is the opposite over the adjacent. So it's root 5 over negative 2. So I have 2 times root 5 over negative 2 over 1 minus root 5 over negative 2 squared. And now we're just kind of simplifying, right? 2 times root 5 over negative 2. So I'll put this as 2 root 5 over negative 2. Denominator is 1 minus all of this squared. So 1 minus square root of 5 over 2 squared. And this is negative, so it's going to be positive 5 over 4. All right, square root of 5 squared is 5. 2 squared is 4. So I can do a little simplifying. The 2 and 2 reduce to 1. So I have negative root 5 on the numerator. And then here, 1 minus 5 over 4. This is the same thing as 4 over 4. So I have negative 1/4. All right, and of course, a number divided by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by its reciprocal. So 4 over negative 1. All right, so ultimately my answer is positive 4 root 5. Positive 4 square root of 5. All right. So we have sine, cosine, and tangent of the double angle. Okay, and if you look at my other suggestion, sine divided by cosine, if I would have taken this answer and divided it by negative 1 over 9, my 9's would have canceled out. The negatives would have canceled each other out, and I would have ended up with 4 root 5. So you may use the formula, but if you have enough information, just use the trig ratios that you already know. Don't always have to use formulas. All right.